What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome to another video. It's currently 11:32 p.m. on what day we on? We're on Wednesday, the 23rd of August 2023. And yeah, we're going to get straight to the charts. We've had a pretty active day today. If you watched yesterday's video, it was a 20-minute long video. So don't get me wrong, I understand if it was a bit of a long video for you guys. But if you go check it out, price pretty much played out exactly as I anticipated. However, in the afternoon session, it seems that price turned around completely, which is quite interesting. But we're going to get straight into it. We'll start with Dixie. And you can see how today we traded all the way up to the volume imbalance that I delineated on Tuesday and Monday that I wanted to see price trade to. Traded right to it, and then it turned it around straight away, pushing us lower and making us close back below the breaker low. So we're going to drop down to the 4 hour to have a better look, and I'm just going to run through quick. I'm not going to say too much about yesterday's expectation, but you can see that we traded above, found support at that breaker midpoint as I anticipated, and then what happened, we expanded higher, took out these relative equal highs here and here, and then we reached for that 4 hour imbalance. I did expect it to get filled, but you can see that didn't happen. Traded up to it, and now we've had a very expansive displacement to the downside now. We're kind of just tickering off at the bottom of it, just underneath this breaker. So it's interesting to see if this breaker now acts as resistance. It looks like it is going to act as resistance. And now, because of how aggressive this move down was and how clear of a breaking market structure this is, I'd now be considering looking for sell side liquidity and sell stops. This big move down, I didn't anticipate it, although I can say that I was looking at gold, and I was looking at some other commodity markets, and I was thinking I am expecting some kind of big move on dollar, but I'll explain more of that at the end of the video because it's kind of confusing. But yeah, here's the hourly chart. Came down, traded to the bottom of the breaker, expanded higher aggressively, again running out these relative equal highs, continued to make our way up, took out this, made a short-term run on stops, traded into that up to that 4 hour imbalance, which is over here. It was a complete volume imbalance, as in there was no trading there between this range. So we traded to the low of that, and then we have our displacement lower, and now we traded through the breaker, and it looks like this breaker is acting as resistance, which is interesting because now I'm looking for sell stops. So yeah, very interesting day, a lot going on, but overall just as expected. And well, I say just as expected, it was expected, everything worked just as according to plan up to about 8, and then at 8:30 we have this displacement to the downside. So let me quickly get to GBP, see what happened. Same thing again. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know I outlined I anticipated price to come into this breaker here. Is it a breaker? I think it might be a fair value gap actually. Yeah, it's a fair value gap, sorry. Price traded into this 4 hour fair value gap up to this level of it. Price did stay below it, but we traded into it, hitting that 50% level just above it. And then we have our displacement down, and we traded right down into these lows. We didn't actually, oh yeah, we did tap this low. It just grabbed those sell stops just about, and then as soon as those sell stops were grabbed, what happened? We had a large expansion to the upside. However, we have not taken out this buy side liquidity yet, whereas dollar has taken out this sell side liquidity, which is quite interesting. So I'm a little bit unsure on what to expect now for the rest of the week. It's looking a little bit crazy. It was nice to see price, do exactly as planned in terms of trading higher, creating that manipulation for the day, and then aggressively moving lower and running down into these stops. And this big red box is a daily fair value gap, I believe. Yeah, weekly fair value gap maybe. Yeah, this is a weekly fair value gap all the way back from June 2023. So I've dragged that out, and you can see we traded back into it again for the fourth time now. We've tapped into it here, tapped into it here, tapped into it here, tapped into it here, tapped into it here. So I guess it's the 5th time actually. So again, interesting day, but considering this massive craziness of a retracement, it's going to be interesting to see whether price wants to just consolidate within this range for a bit, or if we're going to continue to expand higher. We'll look at euro now very quickly. This video is going to be quick, guys, because I am shattered right now. So we're going to look at euro now, and you can see we dipped down into that fair value gap just as we expected. This is a massive week. This yellow box is a weekly fair value gap. We shaded right down all the way up. You can see price closed above it again. If we drop down to the 4 hour, we can see how we traded up to a fair value gap that I delineated again yesterday's video. Go check it out. And to this breaker low. Well, it's not really the breaker low. It didn't trade to the actual low itself, but it did trade into the fair value gap. So we traded up to that, and then we have our massive displacement lower, tickered down, and then we had our expansion higher now. We haven't actually taken out this high yet, so until that high gets taken, we have to continue to be bearish. But other than that, again, it's pretty much the same as what happened with GBP. But it's just again interesting how dollar has taken out this swing low. I'll just show you now. Dollar's taken out this swing low, whereas GBP has failed to take out this swing high, and Euro has also failed to take out this swing high as of yet. So in terms of tomorrow, if we expand higher, then I'd start to look for this stop up here made on Tuesday to get ran. However, if we stay below this high, then I'd continue that bearish and I'd expect this range to get filled. That's basically all I'm expecting. Same on pound as well. If we move higher and get this high taken out, then I can expect us to start running into this buy side liquidity resting up here. Other than that, I'm going to continue to be bearish. Now, in terms of what I was saying at the beginning of the video about the massive displacement lower on Dixie, you'll see that I've got gold here, and you can see how Dixie was moving higher from this low to this high at the same time that gold was making higher highs from this low to this high. So as gold was moving up and it took out this swing high here that I've delineated with this line, as you can see, we take out that high, dollar is refusing to take out this low, and it's clearly moved much higher. And when I saw this deviation, I then anticipated, okay, it's likely dollar's going to need to click back into space, click back into its role, because it shouldn't be so far off gold, as in dollar should be making lower lows whilst gold's making higher highs. But at this point here, gold was making higher highs at the same time gold was, so it was likely for this displacement to occur, and that's exactly what we saw. Now I'm going to back test this and look at this in more detail in another video, but this is why I believe we saw such a big and large and aggressive displacement today, and why we can likely start looking for more lower prices on dollar. But yeah, that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching. I do suggest you guys go check out gold and dollar and look at how, like I said, dollar's making higher highs at the same time that gold is making higher highs here. Not ideal, and that's again why we see this massive move lower, and why there's potential for dollar to want to start rushing lower. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, there's a lot of news releases this week and next week, so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious in the charts. That's everything for now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.